Most shops tend to have a few saw blades kicking around, and they're difficult to store. So I made a 3D printed case that holds two blades, a 10-inch and a 7¼ inch. The cases are stored in this box, and the box is attached to the French Cleat Wall. For those new to woodworking, you might wonder why so many saw blades. Well, there's different saw blades for different uses. Some are for cutting plywood, some will be for cutting construction grade lumber, and some will be in between, good for cutting both. Each of these 3D printed cases have a tab on them, with place for a label and a tab that helps when pulling the case out of the box. The box is made from plywood scraps from the bin. These are leftovers from the cabinet build, but I'm starting to run out of useful pieces, at least for builds of this size. I cut the four sides of the box to width, and then use the crosscut sled to cut the four sides to size. These will join together with rabbet joints. So I set up the router using some scraps to make sure I have the settings dialed in just right, then make the cuts on my workpieces. Now I can just glue them all together and make sure they're square. While that's sitting to dry, I can cut a piece for the back from this particle board left over from the Prusa 3D printer enclosure. And then nail it on with some brat nails. I also added a French cleat to the back. I don't want to see the edges of the plywood from the front, so I'm using chalkboard paint to cover that up. And that matches up well with some of the other builds I've done recently. The style is becoming a bit of a theme in the shop. I have several tool holders on the walls with the same shop birch plywood and chalkboard edges. The 3D printed cases are quite large and take a long time to print, almost a full 24 hours. They won't fit on the Prusa and just barely fit on the SnapMaker. I also printed some rails for inside the box, so the cases can slide in and out nice and easy. These are just glued in with some CA glue, and I use a spacer to make sure they're all the same distance apart. Now I can store all the blades I have and still have room for several more. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to learn more about the 3D printers, click here.